Hi everyone, thanks for coming in. So we're waiting for Alice to join in. Sorry guys, just a little bit of technical error because this is Alice's first time coming in. Oh, okay, here she's coming in now. Hi!
Hi, how are you?
Okay, I just give you some time to. I'm good, I'm
Yeah,
good.
nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
This is the first time using the what you call the Instagram chat, so not so familiar with it. Yeah.
It's okay. We all have a first time. Some people coming in already. I'll just do a short introduction of you. Hi guys, thank you very much for coming on and tuning in to our Instagram live with an artist chat with Alice Yee. So who is actually a part-time artist and who is actively participating in various art exhibitions as well. Alice is also the runner-up, the accomplished artist runner-up actually, of Dreamscape art contest organized by Le Art Shop. And here's the interesting thing part of it is that 18 years ago, Alice rekindled with her love for painting by taking up art courses. And one of her paintings was in fact recognized by the National Art Gallery Malaysia. So that's amazing. That's a very interesting journey you have here. And one of the reasons why I'm so excited to interview you is because in all my years, right, I've interviewed so many people, I've interviewed so many different artists, and most of them are young artists. But with you, you are different, you know, in a sense where you are at that age where a lot of people wouldn't probably like have thought about going to the art industry. But for you, you are such a like a role model, you know, to a lot of us. Like my husband asked me the other
Ah,
day, my husband asked me, he said, what will you do, you know, later? Will you ever stop painting? I said, no, when I'm old, you know, I will still be painting. I will still be sitting down with my canvas and I'll still be painting. And I think you are that role model for a lot of us. So,
okay.
okay, so first thing first, I would like to ask you is that
Mm.
perhaps you can talk a little bit about yourself and how did you start your journey as an artist?
Okay. Before I start, first and foremost, I think I want to thanks Lee Art Shop for organizing the Dreamscape art contest. Actually,
Okay.
I just try to participate for fun of it, lah, right? Then so
Mm-hmm.
happy to receive that I'm the runner up. It's very excited, right? Okay. Also,
Yes.
it's very privilege today to be able to have a close live chat with you. You know, so I, my name is Alice Yee, right? At the moment, I'm working in a corporate company. Uh,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
I should say I'm very lucky because I have very nice bosses and my colleagues. They support
I
me
see. Okay.
in work. They also support me in my art journey, right? Whenever there's exhibition, they are the one who attended all my art exhibitions. So I just want to
Wow.
thank
Okay.
yeah, to say thanks to them. Okay, when you talk about art journey, I started during my childhood, right? When
Okay.
I'm in the
Okay.
primary, I have a close knit of classmates, five, six of us. We are very
Okay.
crazy over painting. We will sketch,
Okay.
um, what is called that film star, and then we will compare among ourselves who can actually paint closest to the image. That's how we challenge ourselves. We gather together every week. That's what we do. One of them is a very talented artist. She won many
Okay.
prizes too. So I want
Okay.
to learn.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I make a deal with her. I said, you teach me painting, I teach you maths. Oh, this is a very good deal. So we started doing this. So I learned painting from her. She learned maths from me. Okay. And she
Okay.
owned a farm, a duck farm, very beautiful. So when I have time, during school holidays, I will go to the house very early in the morning, just to wait for
Okay.
the time to put out the door, and you can see flocks of duckling walking towards the pond. The scenery is so there are hundreds of them, Shirlene, can you imagine hundreds of them rushing to the ponds and then start swimming and bathing and in the water, playing in the water.
That's
Then
cute.
you can see the sunlight that's shining into the pond, it created a very beautiful golden water scenery. From young, I already captured by nature, and then from there, I understand why she's so good in her art. She sit down by the table near the pond and start painting life. Every day is painting life. That's how I learned from her. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is how we expose to nature. Not only doing painting, also sitting down for hours, enjoying sunrise, sunset, different time of the day. That's how I trained myself from day one. Okay, in my teens, I met an architect who was very passionate over art. He gave us art lesson, free. So it's the first time I exposed myself drawing using using easel, right? He taught me
Yes.
charcoal, pencil, shading, very details, and using watercolor. That time, many years ago, colors are very expensive. He gave free lessons, give us free art materials. Very great, passionate artist. And then after 2-3 years, I learned from him. He migrated to overseas, and that time my family also shifted out from the village home, and we stay in a terrace house. So we are now no more in nature. We are surrounded by concrete, right? So during the time, my concentration is, my parents said, "Daddy, go and find a good job. Forget about art." So no choice, you have to survive. You start pursue your studies and get a job. Okay, so I've been working for a while. I don't have the time to do painting because it's very expensive to buy colors and materials. So we working for about 10 to 15 years. Until one day I went to an international art fair. I saw a store which is saying that books for sales less about it's only selling less 80%. So that face attracted me. So I rushed over there and I saw. To my surprise, I found a lot of his book, A3 size, with all the sketches and painting. It reminds me of days when I learned from this architect. So I bought all the books that he has brought me back,
Okay, sorry guys. Please do not tune away from the live session. We'll just wait for Alice to come back. Okay. Much better. Came across this place and you found all these books and you were excited with the books.
Yeah. I took the books back and browsed through the pages, and then I saw all the sketches, and then it surprised me and bring my memory back. So after that, I started looking for art school. I should start painting already. So I went for I found Academy Inspire, and I enrolled myself, start learning under Mr. Yo Ing Bing. He's a very passionate teacher, and I'm very obedient student. He asked me to start from sketching and follow what he said. So we have very good foundation. At the same time also, I went for a few institutions where I studied even Chinese brush. So from there, I used a different technique in my painting. So we started, the first exhibition was the Inspire Art Exhibition, which is organized by the school. Then we have a group of us exhibiting our work. After 2 years, I was doing my art. You can see the background, the rambutan.
Yes.
The first painting I sent to National Art Gallery, right? And then I was selected. And then the encouragement, a recognition to say, okay, now is the time you should continue painting. So from that day onwards, 2006 until now, about 18 years, I've been participating in different exhibitions. And I did one solo in one. Yeah. That is titled, The Secret Garden, My Rose, right? All my rose series.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, right. Mm.
Well, you sound like you have a very rich journey, very rich artistic journey. And
Yeah.
yeah, Liat Shah was saying, Mr. Yo is a very good teacher. I agree. You know, I mean, I've not been taught by him, but from what I
Yeah.
know, I think, yeah, he's a pretty good teacher, and he's so lucky to be able to, you know, to learn under him. And
Yeah.
it's to have such a positive attitude when it comes to learning, and so because I think a lot of artists need to know this,
Mm.
that you know, you are learning art. It's very important for you to learn fresh, you know, and learn like yes, you may know things that you already know, you know, but when it comes to learning from someone, it's so important to put aside whatever that you know and then learn fresh, you know, like learn properly from the instructor again. That way
Yeah.
you'll be able to advance yourself, you know.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
appreciate you, yeah, you got such a good
Yeah.
attitude. Okay, so based on like from what I gather, you've that means you've pretty much picked up quite a number of like you know art styles and art mediums. Like,
Yes.
so what of art style and art medium do you specialize in, and like, is there a reason why you pick that particular art medium and art style?
Okay, because as I told you from the day when I young days, I exposed to nature, right?
Okay.
I love to see surrounded by trees, flowers. I love landscape, right? I can spend a lot of time during my childhood day with my friend, sitting down, watching sunrise, right? And sunset, even raindrops that amaze me. Because of this character exposure that I have, definitely landscape is one of my favorite. So I use oil, right,
Okay.
acrylic to do landscape, seascape, reflection of sunlight onto the water. That's amazing. So when you see oil is a medium whereby you can use blending. You can blend it onto the canvas to create a different tone. That is why I do realistic because of the layering, right?
Ah,
Okay.
I
At the
see.
same time, also I use brushes and also use palette knife to create some texture impact. So for flowers, I use acrylic
Okay.
and for animal portrait, I use. You can see some of my posts where some of them
Yes.
love the cat that I did. Right, I use
Yes.
oil pastel and
Oh,
acrylic.
see. Okay. So that means like, do you mix the mediums up? Like, do you practice mixed media, or do you
So
like
far,
stick?
so far, I prefer to have a pure oil painting,
Oh,
or
okay.
I don't mix
Okay.
them so much, to
Hmm.
retain the original pigment and
Yes,
the
yes.
character, right?
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed your Instagram account. Like, I noticed the animals. I noticed the roses actually. It was the roses, right? Yeah,
Yes.
the roses are the ones that stood out the most. I think, in particularly because of the colors that you use. So you put
Yeah.
them like by tree, and it's very brilliant that you put them tree by tree because they're all like. I can imagine them coming in there like series, like you know. It's in very
Yeah.
it's beautiful. Yeah. So that's the
So
one
it,
that immediately caught my attention. Yeah. And I have to tell you though, because you're winning artwork, so when I was going through the artworks to judge the artworks, right? My husband also was going through it with me, and
mm-hmm.
he's an artist, you know, but he has a very high appreciation for art, you know, and he's very supportive of my art career as well. So as we were going through, he immediately asked me to stop at your artwork, you know. And I was like, yeah, lah. I look at it, right? I said, oh my God, this one took my wait. He said, yeah, because the theme is dreamscape, and the thing he said to me the most that was interesting, right, is that he said that he can imagine when he's in his dream, when he's dreaming, right, and he can actually
Yeah.
see that in the dream. So
Yeah.
basically, the artwork that you submitted is like an exact depiction of a dream. Like, you know, I
Mm.
can imagine myself sitting there and I see through the roses and the blurry image and it's very like sort of like surreal but magical at the same time. I don't know how to say it in words, but you know, I can feel it in my heart lah most of the time. But yeah, you really took my
Yeah.
breath immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
um, I understand that that particular artwork, the name is Awakening Love. Um,
Mm.
a very beautiful title. It was created in 2015. It's all painting, and perhaps maybe you can like share a little bit more about that particular artwork, what inspired it, and what does it represent, and what it means to you as well.
Okay, just now you mentioned about dreams, right? Actually, this painting actually come from my dreams, right?
Wow.
I went to Netherlands to see flowers. I love flower fields. Attracted by the tulip with different colors, you know, they have red, yellow, blue. It's really amazing when you stand in the midst of them and taking photographs. And after there was a flower show there, many artists was down there in the yard, open yard, painting away. You know, many of them painting tulip and things like that. I tell myself one day, I hope I'm one of them sitting there and do painting. Okay. So, beside tulip, there are also orchids, flowers, many flowers down there, and they even decorate lamp using the roses and flowers. It's so beautiful. Okay, after visiting there, we went to have a ride canal houses in Netherlands, where you can see a lot of cottage home. And they are framed with a lot of flowers. Beside roses, they also hydrangeas and things like that. It's attracted me so much. One of the cottage house near the cheese farm. I went over and inquired to have a stay in one of the cottage homes. Unfortunately, he said you never book in advance, so we can't allow you to come and stay. So I look at it, never mind, since I cannot stay, can I have a cup of tea with my cheesecake and looking at admire the cottage home?
Okay.
So, my friend, my niece sitting down there, and we actually, for a few hours, admire all the flowers and things like that. And this picture scene captured me so much that I came back. I said, I want to paint my cottage home, that I can wake up every morning with the smell of the roses outside. So this is how the dream come by. So I actually painted the window, the flowers, roses outside. So I can imagine every morning when the breeze is there, the flowers swinging, dancing in the air, and then it wake me up every morning. So I name it Awakening Love.
Oh, that's very nice. That's exactly how we felt when we saw your artwork too. That's much. Look at your artwork. So this one must be travel somewhere, and then feel something, things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we have chance, I would invite you to come and sit down and look at my artwork. I put this in my office now, all right? So every time when you are stressed, I will put down the and I'm looking at my art, and I take a cup of tea. I still imagine myself in the cottage house, looking out my dream home, yeah.
Beautiful. That is what we truly say. We truly call it connecting with your inner artist. That is the true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm happy that you can see the feelings from me.
Oh, of course. I have this thing where I like to look at because like I mean I love art, and when I look at it, I have this way of connecting to it. Some people say that it's like reading art. It's kind of like reading art, but I think to me it's more than that, because like when it comes to looking at art and studying, like understanding someone's piece, right? It's like understanding iconology, so you're looking at the like for example, when I'm looking at Awakening Love, I'm looking at your window, and I notice the seal, I'm not just looking at the painting, I'm actually noticing the little things, like the roses, why would you position it that way, the lighting where it comes in, things like that. And I think it's very important to connect all of these senses together in order for you to feel that artwork. So like I truly understand where you're coming from, because that's how I feel about art as well. Yeah.
Actually, I really enjoy painting this piece because it's from your imagination. Actually, you're planting every roses by yourself. There's no such the roses. Every rose is planted by you to in the direction that you love, in the colors of your imagination. Yeah.
That's very meaningful. That's very
Yeah.
meaningful. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Right. So before we go on to the next questions, I'll just look through some of the comments over here. And guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment and ask questions so that Alice can answer them as well. And I will definitely moderate. Okay. So yeah, we have Liat Shop said that Mr. Yu is a very good teacher. That's a lovely painting. Yes, very true. I truly agree. Craft Brewer said hello. Some of these are my friends as well. Eugene, the great prize winner, said that yes, indeed, such a wonderful journey, Alice. Yes. And Lester Penner said 18 years and so much accomplished, amazing. Yes, I really agree. And she said that it's so rare to be able to bask in the beauty and nature nowadays. Very true. Yeah. You have a friend, I think, Mage_us. She said should see Alice's landscape, very beautiful. I think that's your friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Artist online said congratulations. Yes, and she said so true. I would. I think it's in regards to earlier your comments and all that. And Eugene said I can imagine. Yeah. Jeremy said wow, that is amazing. Hui Fei said planted your roses in the painting by yourself. I really agree with you. Yes, exactly what you said earlier. And someone asked, Sonia asked, how do you feel when you've completed a piece? Yeah.
Yeah, of course, it takes a while for you to translate your thought into the canvas, right? So after you finish, many times you will sit down and look at it. You know, sometimes you find a certain area is you're not happy with, and whatever, you just start changing it. Depends on you, right? Every piece of art is my favorite, I should say, and I love to look at them when I have my tea and my cheesecake. Yeah, that's how I enjoy my art.
This is nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So someone also said, Nicole said, amazing art journey and talented and inspiring artist. Okay. Arts Kong, which is, his name is Wai Kong. What drives you to continue your passion and trusting yourself and stay true to yourself? And then he said, congratulations as well. Yeah. So I think a lot of people want to know your secret. How do you stay passionate after all these years, you know, because like, I think, which is actually very interesting because it's somehow connected to the next question. So I'll just keep one question and then I'll come back to the important one, because since someone has asked about passion, so I'll ask you about self-limitations. Okay, like so some people may have like some self-limiting mindset that we are too old or too late or too busy to pursue our passion or a hobby. I think a lot of us would want to know your view on this, and like, how do you actually stay passionate no matter what, you know, no matter what happens?
Okay, I should say in life, the first priority we have is to find a job and have a living, right? Even when you talk about art, you also need money to buy materials and things like that. Now, if you can't even have a basic need, there will be a lot of pressure for you to find something to survive. That's what my view is. As long as you are able to handle your basic need, it's very good to actually spend time to pursue your passion, especially when you're doing painting, isn't it? So painting is a long journey. What you do is you paint what you love. There's so many styles. People will tell you, hey, at least don't do realistic style. Why don't you do abstract? People tell me, do abstract, you know. But to me, I don't paint what people want me to paint. I paint what I love to do. It comes from my heart because I'm exposed from nature from the childhood. Landscape, greens, flowers is in my heart. I can translate them into canvas in the way I like, you know, freely. So that gives me the satisfaction that I have. So I would like to encourage people, their age and time is not a boundary. It's not a problem. Okay, maybe when you start off doing painting, it will not be to the standard or to the way you think it should be. But we learn from errors, you know. As time goes by, you start learning. and you will acquire better skill, right? Then you start in a different way, in the way you like. But do not have to worry about the comment of people. So you must believe yourself. Believe yourself. What inspire you? That is the most important thing. Because otherwise, you do not know which direction you are going. Yeah.
Yeah, very true. I truly agree. Because when you're so focused on always thinking about what people like, what people don't like, then it becomes like a very it literally turns into a self-limiting behavior, and then without even realizing that just becomes our like habitual pattern.
Yeah.
And I really, really agree with like it's so important to paint what you like, what you love, rather than painting what people want. And I know very well for a fact that because I do consultation for artists, right? And I've come across like artists also who have struggled with this as well. They jump from one thing to another because they're constantly listening to others. They're also worried. I don't blame them, because it's not their fault that they feel this way. Perhaps it's how they were raised or something, and it's not. It's the struggle is real, like really I've seen them gone from from first they're painting this, then they decide to change their mind and they paint something else, and then after that they entirely lose track of themselves. And then just happy also, So I think finding yourself through your process is also very important, I would say, right? So if that's the case, then it has a lot to do with your creative process. So do you have a method in finding inspiration and like how you turn your ideas into your artwork? I know that you mentioned that you are very much inspired with landscape and nature and all that, but like in particularly a particular process, like do you have a process? Because I know every artist has a process. Like for me,
Okay, so let's say we're talking about painting, let's say landscape. I wanted to paint landscape with water reflection. I will think about it, browse through all the photos that I have and things like that, right? That's in mind. Friday, after certain time when I have the mood, I will sit in front of the canvas, I start painting it. And through the process, when you start thinking about it, you want to paint daytime, blue sky with clouds and the water. But sometimes the mood changes as you pick up your brushes. Your mood tells you, no blue sky. I want a sunrise. So instead from a blue sky, it turned into a sunrise series. So you start doing what your heart tells you. So you're putting it in. Instead of blue sky, is no more blue sky, is pastel, pinkish scenery, and then with the reflection of water. So the house, this process come by. But of course, in my life, when I drive around, I always take pictures. And I need to have reference, right? So because of landscape and nature, I even took up photography.
Oh, wow.
I learned photography so that I can took close-up picture of flowers and scenery whenever I travel, even flower fields, and just keep it for reference. Then you just time when you leisure, you just browse through the what you call that. It will inspire you, as you see the canvas. The picture that you have painted and what you've seen will come by into your mind, and then just listen to your heart, and put it onto the canvas, and it come out beautiful. That's my process of doing it.
Okay, so just one question I want to ask you as well, because you're talking about how you take pictures, you look at reference and things like that. What are your thoughts about people? How to say? Not say copying, but they have to like really copy an artwork to start off first. Like, do you agree with that? What are your thoughts about that?
Okay, when you talk about Chinese brush painting, the teacher first thing taught us is different from our Mr. Yo style. The Chinese brush always teach you copy first. Copy. That means they teach you how to draw a leaf, one stroke. You have to copy the way how the technique is called technique. So by copying the technique, you gain your knowledge and the skill for doing it. But not copying is to learn the skill, but not copying the picture exactly and put into your art. But even when you copy, it might not be the same because the stroke that you use, the technique you use, and the thought and your skill, the impact is different. So after copying, learning the stroke, then you start having your own style. You develop your own way on the, and then start putting your way of thinking into the painting. Yeah, that's how. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I have I have heard such practice before, like copy to familiarize with the technique. And it's true what you say that, if even if let's say we try and copy so hard 100%, there is
Yeah.
no way we can copy exactly the same, because everybody's artwork somehow reflects, is a reflection of their personality, their taste, their interests. Like when I have people asking me questions like, how do you find your art style and things like that, and I say it's very simple. You got to look into what you truly love and what you truly like. It's in your interest, like you said, paint what you like. Yeah.
But even even when we are artists, we want to paint the same piece to second time. You ask me to paint another piece that behind me, I can't produce the same tone colors. No way.
Same. I know how to do one also.
Because the mood is
correct. Like that moment itself, right? You can somehow produce that thing. That moment is for you can't create again the same thing again. Yeah, I know. The other day also I was trying to replicate. I'm trying to replicate my own painting. Okay, you imagine? I'm not even looking at other people's reference. I'm looking at my own reference. I can't seem to replicate the same thing again.
You can't. You really can't do it. Really. Yeah.
So I guess
the tone is different. Yeah. And the strokes are different. The tone are different.
Yes, and this is just drawing the lips only, and I can't seem to get the exact same. I can't do it.
Unless you Photoshop lah, Photoshop can produce the exact thing lah.
I use transfer paper.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, it's a very interesting process over there. Okay, so the next question. Let me just check see if anybody got any questions or not. Okay, so a friend of mine, Christine, said, "You are such an inspiration, Alice." I truly agree. And someone said, Kelly said, limited edition. Yes, correct. Kelly, your friend?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on to the next questions. Again, okay, wait, there's another question. So Eugene asked, how important are titles to your paintings and how do you name them? Oh, this is interesting. Yeah. This is really asked actually, but yes, it's an interesting process. Yeah. Maybe you want to answer this.
Okay. I think this is the challenge of every artist, When we start painting, we never think of the title of the painting. So end of the day, when you want to name it, then you will start looking at it. But how we name it is the inspiration that you get. What is the painting that represents to you, like the awakening love? Why I use the word awakening love? Because when I painted, I was imagining myself is how beautiful if I can stay in the cottage home, such a beautiful house that I can wake up early morning with the flowers calling me. That's how awakening love. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So in your so basically what you're trying to say is that the titles usually come later, and perhaps the feeling comes first, then the actual title, right?
Yes.
Because we tend to try and intellectualize it, but feelings, you can't. Sometimes there are no words, to describe a feeling. You feel it, and I can relate to that, So the words come much later. Sometimes the words you change, halfway through.
Yeah, but you do not need to. Normally, I don't rush to name a painting. After you sit down, you start looking at it on the feeling will come. The title will come. Yeah.
I agree, yeah. Because sometimes I tell myself, okay, I'm gonna start this painting and I will name this painting this title. Then halfway through or towards the end, no, it's a different direction already. The entire title changed already.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, agree.
Okay. So I'm gonna touch on to the next question. This
Mm,
one's a little more deeper. So I want to ask you about self-doubt.
mm.
Have you ever experienced any discouragement from your peers or your family in pursuing your artist journey? And I know that you've also mentioned that you have very supportive backgrounds and all that, right? You know,
Mhm.
your kids and your family and all that. But like, if a person were to go through this, what is the best way for this person to handle the situation?
Okay, I should say art journey is a very what you call that a challenging journey lah, right?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
at times even we are when in my artist journey, we also get disappointment.
Mm.
You went to art exhibition and your friend sold his painting and your painting
Oh,
sold. You will
okay.
come and ask yourself question: What happened? Is it my problem with my painting, or is this something wrong? Things like that, you know. So
Mm.
as I should say that art is in the eyes of the beholder. There is different people love different style, right? So I still go back to the same thing that you must know what you are and what you want, all right?
Mm.
So that you
Mm.
will not get affected by people. But we are surrounded by friends and family. We love us so much. They're so worried about us, you know, going to art, and end of the day, we can't even support ourselves in painting, right? To me, is even my brother sent me a story of Van Gogh. He
Oh,
worried that time. He said, "Please read this story. You know, I think if it's not the time for you to go full time. Don't do it. You know, see, there are so many artists and gone through difficult times whereby their painting are not sold. But to me, it is okay as long as you do what the heart tells you. All right,
yeah. Yeah.
it's a difficult journey. It's still worth it to do it. Right, you
Yeah.
believe
That's.
yourself. Come up with
Mm.
your own style, your own icon. That's most important. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. I get what you mean. And I think that like right now we are living in a
Mm.
generation. It's a lot easier for us to pursue art, in a
Yeah.
way, like in a way,
Yeah.
because like we things like Instagram, Facebook, we got social media we got internet, like,
Yeah.
the
Correct.
digital age has made it so much easier for us to promote ourselves. Like some artists, some independent artists are so bold enough that they can just go on a journey on their own, But like back then, even like, cause I'm a 90s child, right? I'm from the 90s, and I remember like in my teenage years also, like people will say things like, don't be an artist, like, be starving artist, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
uh,
Mm. Mm.
it's how things have changed lah. But for you, because you have lived, you're much older than me, and you have lived in that generation. Do you see the changes? Do you think that
Of
it's
course.
still the
Yeah. Of course, I see changes now. Like in last time, I always think that Facebook and Instagram media is not important to me. Is art is you have to actually see the physical piece itself. You know,
mm,
no need to
mm,
have promotion through mouth, word of mouth. You can sell your painting. But
mm,
lately, social media become a very important tools. You know, you cannot avoid using it,
mm,
especially at the moment now with a new normal. We have no choice. A lot of art teaching have to go for online. We
we got
cannot.
virtual
Uh,
exhibition also. And
yes, we cannot avoid to having this type of new trend and things like that.
yeah,
Perhaps in the
mm,
future, art exhibition is no more physical. It can be online, virtual.
yeah,
So we,
yeah,
as an artist, we cannot be out of the world. We have to look
mm,
at what is the trend and we have to follow. There's not a choice at all. Yeah.
yeah. Do you feel blessed to be an artist in this generation right now? Like, do you like, because if let's say you were to pursue the art career back then, it will be a
Mm.
lot different from now. Like, do you feel luckier to
Yeah,
actually
in
be?
a way, I should say that I have gone through both lah. That means I have our time. We have gone through the physical part of it, where people go and see your exhibition. They must
Mm,
feel your art. looking with the naked eyes, you know, then they recognize that it's the art. Now people selling art through social media, images, right? They love it, media. So we have to change through times when that is the trend. We as an artist we have to follow. Yeah. So I get both. I should say I'm fortunate in a way. I saw both sides of it.
This is interesting because when I created the Artsy Craftsy, the platform, I started off in 2008, but originally I started in the arts and crafts scene. I think way before that, like probably when I was still in college or something. And I remember at that time, right, it was so different because like I used to tell this to a lot of crafters. I say you guys are very lucky, you know, like you have like Facebook and social media and all that. But back then, whenever people talk about arts and craft, right, you just have to mention handmade. They will ask you, is it from the Pasar Seni, the Central Market, you know? Like, when you talk about portrait drawing, you know, oh, you mean the guy sitting at the shopping mall there drawing your portrait, you know, they will think that way. Yeah, but like for us now, it's so different. Like corporate companies are hiring crafters, you know, like making workshops and all that, you know. So we are actually very blessed right now. And I'm also quite lucky to be able to experience both, like, you know, like I've watched I how difficult it is to actually be in the starting phase, you know, many years ago, and then right now when there's so much advantage, you know, we are all moving faster than ever because of what we have right now. So I think that's pretty amazing. Okay, so before we, do you have anything to add on?
Even I talking about craft nowadays, most of the time, last time you buy the craft material to make flowers and things like that.
Yeah.
Now people use waste materials, you know, the waste material, right? Gold green, we talk about gold green. So these are one of the trend that we have to recognize.
Yeah, I agree. It's just like you take take crochet and knitting for example.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Because my mom used to do knitting and crochet, right? And then the other day she was telling me, she said, "Hey, I want to buy you know, the thing, you know, where to buy." And then she kept showing me the very traditional way of doing it. I said, "Mom, it's very different already right now." It's very people like you know they're making styles with it, you know, like got hair flowing and all that.
Correct. Yeah. Right. You are right. Yeah.
But it's nice to see that crafters are taking something so old school and traditional into a newer trend, you know, that kind of thing. Just like you know, like tie-dye. Tie-dye was very famous in the 60s, you know. But right now it's so it's different. The style is also different. So I think like you said, we have to move we have to move together with it. And it's good. The scene also is moving together. Yeah. Okay, so before we move on to the next one, just let me check and see if anybody said anything else. Okay, I think I saw a very nice comment earlier. You can have a cup of water while I scroll through. Okay, so Hui Fei said, naming your painting just like naming your newborn baby, born with love. Oh yeah, that's so true.
That's true. Because the minute you sign your painting, you have to put a name to it. So essentially, a painting is born like a baby. Yeah.
Very true. Our certificate of authenticity is the birth certificate. That's true. Okay. So one more person said, Murni said, art versus money. Money will come slowly or fast, but when we do with our full heart, yes, that's very true. So, okay, this is an interesting question. Jeremy asked, what is your biggest challenge in your art journey and how did you overcome it? Very interesting question. Yeah.
Okay. Of course, as artists, we have your dreams. I did my first solo. I was thinking to do another solo, right? To do a solo, you need about 35-40 pieces. People looking for the second solo and say, I seen the first one. The second one, I want to see what is the difference. So as an artist, that is the challenge you have. People expect to see something better than what you've done before. So as an artist, we always have to move a journey that we have to advance ourselves all the times. Develop a new skill and things like that, you know, to produce artwork that people look forward to. Yeah, that is the
Yeah.
challenge that we have. But we still maintain our icon. Okay, we have our own icon, but make people feel that every time they're looking forward to see a new piece from you. That's the challenge.
Okay. Yeah, this is interesting that you mentioned this, because the other day I was just thinking to myself, like an artist will have to produce like God knows how many, like the number of artworks, right? Like I myself counting my artworks, I think so far I've only have like 25, I think. I'm not counting the sketchbook ones, those not counted like properly
Yeah,
on canvas, like
yeah,
25. And then I'm thinking to myself, like, hey, actually, you know what? As artists, as painters, we are like singers, like those band singers.
yeah.
When we make like a bunch of music, like a bunch of songs, and that only that one hit wonder will hit the radio
Yes,
like that.
correct. Yeah.
We have to like pay a lot of artworks, right, for that one hit wonder.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay, so Cassie Liashop asked, how do you balance your full-time work and creating art? This is also a very interesting question.
Interesting. Okay, all right. Of course, work is a priority lah. Work come first. Okay. So I will during weekdays I don't have time to paint because it's so tired after you go back. Don't force yourself to paint. Otherwise, the painting come out is very horrible. You will end up throwing it away. So I do not force myself to do any painting in the normal weekday. But Friday is my favorite day, whereby I finish all the things. I come back tomorrow is Saturday. It's an off day. Sunday is an off day. It's a time that I will make sure I have a good meal, and then I sitting down and then today is a time that I start painting. So the hours I spend depends on your mood, and then you do not force yourself to say I must paint 3 hours or 4 hours. So I paint. As I paint, then you tired, you put aside, listen to music, and then ponder around. Then continue tomorrow. That's how I do my artwork. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So how long do you take to complete a piece though, if let's say you're only doing it on Fridays and the weekends?
It takes a month, at least a month. Because when you do oil, you need to do at least 3-4 layers, right?
Yes. Yes.
The oil need to dry. So you have to allow the painting to dry first before you put another layers to it. And sometimes it's more than a month, because when it comes to Friday, you cannot say, oh, today Friday, it's my day to paint. I must start taking my brushes and start painting. The day you don't have the mood, so you lose one day already. So it will normally about a month or more than a month. Yeah.
This is why paintings are so expensive.
Yes, yes.
Really cool. You're paying for just the skill, but you're paying for the vision, the imagination, the mood, the energy. All kinds of
energy. Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just see if there's any more other questions. Okay. Yeah. So Lefter Panel asks, is the quality of art material important when a beginner first starts out? Would love your opinion on this. That's a very in-depth question. That's a good question.
I think it depends on your affordability, right? Okay. It depends on affordability. If you can afford, it's always good to start with a very good material, because the pigment and colors texture is different, right? Cheaper paint, the colors are not so nice. But as a beginner, because art material is not cheap. Once the cheap one will cost you about $10. The expensive one, $100 over when you compare the difference, right? So as a starter, I still believe that we should start with something cheap, right? Affordable, so we can paint more pieces as a practice, right? So as time goes by, when you're more experienced, it's good to invest in colors, because the durability, the color, and the impact of the painting come out, the quality look different. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is a very interesting school of thought, because there are some artists who feels that they're okay with just starting off with much more lower price range art materials or art paints. some choose to invest in the expensive ones. But I guess like it depends on the preference. And but if like someone like you who's doing a big piece, who's much more premium piece, I think it's very important to invest in a better quality art supply, I would say, right? Especially when it comes to oil
Yes,
paint.
yes. I invest in expensive art material. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because you put in so much effort in a piece of art, right? And the colors don't come out well, and all your effort wasted. So why don't we start with a very good material from the start? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Unless you're doing some other smaller types of projects, then it's okay, you know. But like something so premium, I think it's very important to also invest in a proper price range kind of art material. Like some of the brands that I use are Liquitex. Like what sort of brands, what sort of good premium brands would you like? Do you use usually, or do you recommend?
They are different range of art material. It depends on those under the professional one are the ones that is you can buy. Yeah.
Okay.
For practices, you can let me see when you do a sketches or whatever, you can use the cheap material just to do a sketch before you do the big piece. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I think it's good to segregate it that way. Like for practice, use something like a lower range of watercolor or something like that, just for the sketch and just for the idea. But when you translate it into the canvas, then it should be something premium. Yeah. Okay.
When you go to the art shop, they will tell you these are professional material. These are the sculptor. They will tell you, right?
Yeah, correct. But some art shops, unfortunately, not very helpful. Yeah, like for me, I happen to have like product knowledge because of my background. I used to work in a craft store. This was after graduating from college years ago lah. So for me, I have an advantage. I can understand product knowledge much more. You know, like I will do my research and things like that. But like for some people, they feel that sometimes when you go to an art shop, right, you don't see the sales assistant anywhere. You know, so you have to like putting out your phone and then you have to Google the spot. But it's true. Important to know. Okay. So before I move on to the last question, I have one more question for you. So just now you mentioned about art exhibition. So I want to do you think it should be an artist's aim, the first aim, to sell when they are exhibiting? Do you think that should be their main objective and main mission, or like main intent when they are exhibiting their artwork? Or should it be more exposure like that?
Okay, as an artist, you always, when you exhibit your art, you always want to see the response and how people look at your art. When people buy from you, that means it shows that there's a recognition. People don't buy things that's no value. People buy something that is attracted to them. So if you look at purchasing is one of the recognitions that our artists always take. But have pressure of when you do exhibition that you must sell your painting. Otherwise, every time out of 10 exhibition, you get very disappointed because not every exhibition you can sell, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
That is the thing. Do not pay too much attention of sales is one of the criteria. I can share with you one of the stories that I painted the money plant during my early days, and I was placed there in the school studio. One of the parents came over and saw it and said that told the teacher wanted to buy. He said, "I'm very interested to buy 2 of your painting. Can you sell under condition buy 1 free 1?" You know.
Oh my God.
I came back. So this is the first time I was joking myself. I said, "There's buy 1 free 1 is not my style." So end up we didn't sell to her. Yeah.
Do you regret or anything? Like, do you have?
No. I share with my family. They say art there's no value. There's no such thing as buy 1 free 1.
This is like my choice. It's very, very, you can't just walk in the supermarket and just say, "Can I have a buy one free one?" Yeah, like what you mean, because I have come across some people like that. Yeah, someone said there are types of people in this world. Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
They need to understand, buy one free one doesn't exist in our vocabulary. Leah Shaw. Yes, it doesn't exist in our vocabulary.
So that's why it's not so much of how many painting you sell lah. Yeah.
That's true.
So I people value it. That's more important than that sell.
Yeah. So I guess you would say that that means when a person were to participate in an art exhibition, they should see it as an opportunity to get their artworks out there for the public to see, and that's the best to observe, like how they feel, how they react, their respond, rather than having such high expectation of selling the artwork. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Because the comment are different. Some of them will tell you different aspect, but from the opinion or comment that you gather, you know how to improve yourself further.
Yeah, correct. Plus, for a buyer to actually buy an artwork, I don't think it's like an instant process where it's like we go to the shop and say, okay, I want to buy this mattress, or something like that.
Yeah, correct.
Like, they have to feel that.
They will come back many times, they come and see your art, they wanted to buy, and look at the value, they go back and calculate, and they look at their space, they come back again a few more times before they buy. Some of them.
Yes, the purchase experience or the buyer's experience for an artwork is different. It's like they need to feel it. They need to know, how is this going to fall into place in my house, like, because I'm going to look at it every day, and the connection to the artwork, so it's a little bit different than just buying a pot of plant.
Yeah, and you can place it anywhere, right? Yeah.
Okay. Eugene said, first time hearing buy one free one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, shocking. If only we can buy one free one with our time invested in painting.
Yeah, correct.
Funny. Okay, so guys, I'm going to move on to the last question. So if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so while we wait for anyone to add on questions, I will ask you my last question. Okay, this one is, I would like your advice on this. So if someone who has spent all their years working a 9-to-5 job, never had a chance to pursue their passion, but they want to pursue it right now, but at the same time they feel insecure about it, what are your tips and advice for this person who wants to pursue their passion?
Okay, like me also, I did the 9-to-5 jobs, right? I stopped painting and pursued my career. Passion is something that is in you, and it takes time to nurture. Don't have to rush over it, so you don't have pressure. If you have passion for art, don't start on it. Go a slow pace, then you don't have a pressure over it. As I always say, by painting, I can stop and have my cup of tea and we just skip. I don't rush overnight to finish the artwork. So to me, it's okay. As long as you have the passion, you should pursue it, right? Yeah, no need to worry. Even you fail, so what? I have an original piece of art painted by me with my name on it. That is one thing that I can say.
Yeah, because I know that there are some people who feel afraid. I've spoken to, like, in particularly, well, most of my audience are ladies. So like, in particularly for the women, they feel scared or they feel a little bit insecure. Some of them, they have spent so many years working, and like all they ever do is just basically go to work, come back, feed their kids, look after their kids, and they never really quite have a lot of me time for themselves. So for them to pursue something, they get a bit scared. Sometimes maybe they don't have the same support as well. So like, I think it's quite important for people to know, like, how to actually go about this, and I think they also need to have, like, good encouragement as well, to be able to pursue their passion. Yeah.
But if you have financially, if you are constrained, don't start full time.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Yeah.
Around, and then you just take art as a painting, start as a learning process, something that when you have time, you do it, and you yourself, then you'll be okay already. But if you are not sure about yourself and you start full time, it's actually a very, very challenging move that you are doing.
I really agree, yeah. Because I have some people who ask me like, should I quit my job, and then like go straight into an art or creative career? I say no, don't quit your job. Even for myself, I didn't quit when I was running the artsy craftsy, I didn't quit my job. I was doing both at the same time. It was only until much later then only I had the courage to tell myself like, okay, maybe I need to quit because I need my energy here. So then the only way is for me to quit my job. But you have to have a very big plan ahead, but
Yes.
unless you are comfortable, like you have a safety net, then it's okay, but don't do that.
But even art, you need to find your own icon. Then this icon cannot be developed the minute you go full time. You can get one icon. It takes years, to come up with your own style, right? So it's not easy, but it's possible. Yeah.
I agree. Because I started painting so young, but like now only I actually discovered my own art style. So it's like a never-ending process, and we're constantly, because as humans we are constantly evolving.
Yes.
So then, our art is an extension of us. So we also, the art also evolve at the same time.
Yeah.
So guys, if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask. If not, then we will have to come to an end. I think I wanted to ask you one more thing. When it comes to pricing your artworks, like, do you have any tips on pricing artworks?
Okay, of course, artwork there's a value to it lah. The amount of effort that you put in and things like that, it reflects the standard of your art. And if you are a major artist, do not sell it too expensive. Otherwise, all your art pieces cannot be sold. And start off with that first, and then you test the market and see how people do it. Yeah. As time goes by, you must put a value to it, because there's always a price to your art. Yeah, there's no fixed rules that what type of value you put on it, but you cannot go down with your value, right? Your skills should be better. Your art should sell better than more expensive than the previous pieces that you sell. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Like you mentioned earlier, like for amateur artists, right? Like what kind of a pricing range they should start off first for amateur artists, like the lowest and to the highest?
They are different sizes. You can start off with small size first, maybe 2 by 2. That means 1 foot by 1 foot small pieces. They sell about starting from 2 to 1,000.
Okay. Oh, that's actually a lot higher than what I had in mind.
200, things like that you can sell. I mean, with quality. I mean, 200 is okay. 200 is okay.
Okay. Then 200 to, let's say, 1,000 plus.
It's meant for oil, oil painting. You can sell a bit more.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's true. Oil is a much more premium in that sense because of the lowest put in. Yeah, correct. Okay. So, like, let's say, for amateur, like, how do they know when to start actually marking up their prices? Like the transition, like when to know to change their price.
Okay, the minute you do your art exhibition and your art piece is always the one that you pick it up. You sold the first piece, then second piece put a bit higher. You sell first piece $150, second piece you sell $200 is sold. Then you up a bit, So every time you see when you up, you cannot sell means that is not the price that you are going.
Okay. So if let's say an artist has like started out and then like 2 years already, or maybe not 2 years lah. Let's say a year already to their career, and they haven't sold a single piece, but they have participated in various exhibitions. Should they feel disappointed that they haven't sold a single piece yet?
You shouldn't be disappointed when I do my art exhibition. I always tell myself, which one is the first piece I must sell? Every exhibition, I say, oh, not so yet. Waiting for the day where the first piece is sell. You know, you won't know which the timing. You don't know the timing, but it will sell times. You know, one day somebody see it, they will sell. The minute it start selling, the more will come. This is the experience that I have. Yeah.
Very nice. Okay,
Yeah.
we must all remember this. Hope the artists who are watching this also find this useful as well. Yeah, this is very important. Okay, so let me just check, see if got any more questions. Okay, so far no more questions in, but don't worry because I will definitely be posting the replay on my Instagram. So if you guys have any questions, just leave in a comment and then I will tag Alice and Alice will reply to them. And Alice, so we have come to an end of the conversation that I promise will be a very smooth chat.
Enjoy your chat with you. Thanks so much for your time. Yeah.
Thank you for your time because I really have a lot of fun talking to you.
Yeah. I hope you enjoy it.
Of course, I will one day want to meet you in person, you know, and then
person, then I will serve you tea and cheesecake. You can admire my pieces. Yeah.
definitely I would do that because I want to go through your paintings. And, yeah, hopefully to be able to do another Instagram live again with you. I will definitely like talk to you about it again, you know, and we'll see what we can come up with because I'm pretty sure a lot of people will want to hear more experienced artists' ideas or like advice, you know, like we all want to learn basically. It's a learning age right now.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Nice meeting you. Yeah.
Nice to thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. See you again. All right.
See you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Okay, I just saw a bunch of other comments. Thanks, Alice and Charlene. Thank you, Cassie, for having us, actually, for allowing me to be able to do this and talk to Alice. Jeremy, you are such an inspiration. Yes, I agree. Alice is really an inspiration. Christine, I will eat cheesecake and look at your beautiful painting. Yes, I will do that too. Jessie, tea and cheesecake are such a lovely combo. Tea, cheesecake, what else? Painting, jamming together. I think this is an amazing combo as well. Ibru Art, thanks Alice and Charlene. I learned a lot today. Thank you for watching, Akmal. Vivian, thanks for the wonderful sharing. Thank you for tuning in. And Eugene, thank you for tuning in as well. It's really nice of you guys to actually still be, to continue all the way, to stay true all the way, because I really did enjoy my session with Alice. And I think this is like one of the most insightful sessions I've ever had in all the years that I've done so many interviews. This is one of the best ones I've ever had. So I'm going to post the replay and make sure you guys watch or tag your friends who you think that they might be interested in this conversation. Like, you know, perhaps they can learn something. Tag your friends, share it out, whatsoever. I will definitely post a replay. Thank you, Waikong, for staying through as well. And can't wait to see you guys again. Thanks. Bye.